my friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new to my channel, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and if you are back, welcome back. Today I'm here with a slightly unplanned WIP and Chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat, of course, stands for Chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP or your WIP. And we'll hang out together and work a little bit. So why is this unplanned? Well, I am currently at my parents' house in Ohio, and you can probably tell, especially if you've poked your head in on past WIP and Chats or even just past videos in general, that this is just generally a different looking setup. Usually I have a very different table in the background. I don't have you at an odd angle, but I wasn't planning on filming it all while I was here. And so I just happened to put my phone stand in my backpack. I didn't bring my whole setup and I didn't realize that I was gonna have quite so much quiet free time in the evenings. And so, yeah, I just sort of spur of the moment was like, hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and film a WIP and Chat. I don't know that it's necessarily gonna be like my full length WIP and Chat, which are usually around an hour, but we'll see. So, yeah, feel free to pull out a project or just put me on in the background. I can keep you company with whatever you're doing. And I am looking forward to just hanging out with you for the next however long we are here. So I do have a diamond painting that I'm gonna be working on. I brought this PaintGem mini set, the National Parks edition, with me. I really, really love taking these with me when I travel. I have a few different editions. I will try to remember to link to the unboxings that I've done for PaintGem before. But they just are so darn easy to toss in my carry-on, and they're really small, like you're gonna see just in a sec, but they're very travel friendly and just generally very beginner friendly, or very like, I need a break from my big project friendly. I did also throw this in my suitcase last minute, which I almost was like, should I give a spoiler warning? But I don't think so, because this was part of the advent calendar from Diamond Art Club. And at this point, you've either, I would imagine, have opened it and seen this, or it's out of stock. You can't get it otherwise at this point. But I did finish this actually yesterday, and why don't I pull it up and show you guys? But this worked up super fast because of the color blocking. It was a super cute little kit. I threw it in my backpack at the last minute. I was like, I want something really small. It's really small, 9 by 12 inches, 22.7 by 30.8 centimeters. But look at how cute it is. So I just kind of rolled. Yeah, I worked out of baggies. You guys, let me tell you just in a second. First, here's how this turned out, this adorable kit. Look at those metallic drills. I posted a picture on Instagram, actually. Ooh, my parents' overhead light here at the kitchen table is doing a nice job. The sparkle in those metallics, or electro diamonds as Diamond Art Club calls them, and the ABs, just magical, just magical. But yeah, so you guys, I had decided not to pack any of my tools with me. Actually, this will be easier if I do it this way. I didn't pack any of my tools with me. Like I upgraded, like quite a long time ago. I upgraded my tray, my pen, the wax that I use, stuff like that. But for this trip, I just thought, oh, I'm not gonna try to pack that stuff because I'll have to try to like protect it, you know, pack it carefully and stuff like that. I didn't want to have to mess with it. To be honest, I was traveling with my kids and my husband. I was more focused on getting them packed up and ready to go. I wasn't really thinking about trying to get everything for me. Like, this isn't a leisure diamond painting trip. This is visiting family for a belated Christmas visit trip. So I didn't pack a larger tray or a pen or anything. I just decided to work out of the basic toolkits that came with these. And that kit that I just showed you had oodles of color blocking in the background. Let me tell you, working out of one of those tiny trays, and I did toss a plastic 10 multi-placer in there, because, you know, that's tiny, that's easy enough to do. But I feel like I could multi-place like 5 times, then I had to shake and reset the tray. It was slow going. It was very, very slow going. So here's how the PaintGem mini sets come. They look like they're an Apple product, quite frankly. Which, by the way, I have a discount code you can use for PaintGem that I will have in the description box below. I want to, is it a 20% off coupon or 15% off? I'll have it linked in the description box below this video. You can take a look. Feel free to not use it, but feel free to use it if you like to. I may make a small commission on it though, because it's an affiliate code technically. But yeah, I really, really adore these kits. So all of their basic tools come in here. I tossed in some cut up, I keep a little bag of like cut up dryer sheet squares because these come in Ziploc bags, like resealable bags, the drills do, and I was just gonna work out of these. I didn't kit them up. And I remembered having static issues with these the last time that I traveled and took this with me. So I made sure to put some dryer sheets in there and pack some extras just in case. The PaintGem sets, the mini sets, this is the National Parks edition, like I mentioned, which here's all the images that are in this one. I joke and say that like I never work on landscapes, but if it's a mini set, I'll work on landscapes. It'll be fine. But I've just completed just these two so far. They're cute. They're real little. They're really, really little. The squares, oops, there's a random orange square. I don't know where that came from. But you could like put them in like a little photo album or something. But it comes with a total of like 10 or 12, it depends on the set. Different ones come with different numbers, but yeah, so I have two, and I just kind of put them back in the box and stuff so I can keep them handy, and then let's pick out which one we want to work on next. I feel like I was mid-sentence or mid-thought on something, and I just really honestly completely lost it. Okay. I kind of like this. Maybe this will be cute to work on today, so maybe that one. That one's cute too. Look at the pretties in that, the pretty colors in that one. That one's like just waves, really basic. Ooh, volcano. For a day that you're raging, I suppose. Is that Yellowstone? Yosemite? Okay, so I think, let's start with this one with the cute lighthouse. Let's do that, because I don't know how often I'm gonna work on these in a WIP and Chat. So I wanna work on a cute one with you guys. And then I know you could take, these are stickers, you could peel and label the gems baggies, but I instead decided to use this as kind of like a legend. Like I just am leaving the stickers on here just so, I don't know, so I can look at this, figure out what like number or what symbol to look for, and then go in here and look at the symbol and then find the number in the bag. I don't know. If you guys have worked on these PaintGem mini sets, how have you done it? I wonder. Feel free to share. And then I just kind of, you know, especially because I've worked on these on the plane before, I kind of just leave the baggies in here and they're roughly in order. And so I just go through and I just kind of pull out the color that I need. I don't know, we're gonna try it out today. Let me get my toolkit set up. So I did, oh, I don't have a 10 placer in here, but I don't really think I need one because they're so little. It does come with a little pair of plastic tweezers. They're pretty sharp, actually. It comes with some blue wax. Oops, which I did load into the multi-placer and the single placer. So yeah, I'm not working out of, I'm not using any of my sort of usual go-to toolkit stuff. So I guess the description box is gonna be pretty darn bare as far as like, here are the tools that I use. Sometimes I wipe this off because it's like wax in there from multi-placing. Okay, so first color, we'll start at the bottom. We'll pick this like letter E. Okay, since I'm gonna be working on the whole thing with you guys right now, I'm just gonna peel off the whole plastic cover. I'll keep it handy in case we don't quite finish it. I will finish it tonight, but I don't know. I'm feeling paranoid or something apparently. So here's our colors. No, so I'm trying to look at the view here so you guys can actually see me working a little bit because I know this is not at all my usual setup, but I still want you guys to enjoy because I know some people do watch these WIP and Chats. But okay, so I need, so I'm gonna start with this letter E. So letter E is number 796. I'm gonna look in here, it's in the blues. So there's 798, 39, 796. Okay, so it's right there. We got the color. No dryer sheet in here. Do we have static issues? Let's see. Yeah, a little bit of static. You can see it's kind of clinging to the bag, and static is like my nemesis. I feel like static is extremely common when you're working out a resealable baggies like this. So let's grab some dryer sheet. I've seen a lot going around in the groups lately, people sharing their tips for getting rid of static. To be honest with you guys, like totally 100% honest with you guys, I literally never tried anything besides a dryer sheet because a dryer sheet has always worked for me. You can see I literally just cut up a little piece, tucked it in the bag, I just shake it around, I leave it in there, the static is gone. Like that's just clinging to the top of the bag because, well, yeah, let's see how it's not. So static's gone. people are like, oh, dip a Q-tip in this and then swirl it around. I'm like, I will totally try that the day that dryer sheets stop working for me. It's actually kind of a rude mentality, isn't it, to have? I should try it so that I can tell you guys if it worked for me in case dryer sheets don't work for you. Okay, let me work on not being self-centered. Anyway, working out of these smaller trays with the basic toolkits, I am calling it an exercise in humility. My friends call it me being absolutely ridiculous. I was like, I don't know who I am anymore. I'm working out of Ziploc baggies. I'm using entirely the regular toolkit, the basic toolkit that came with it. And I literally, when I started working on that unicorn kit that I just showed you, when I started working on that one a few nights ago, I literally sent a picture of my tools and stuff, and I sent it to a friend, and I was like, I don't know how people work with these basic toolkits. And she assumed that I had sent her a picture of like one of my family members working on a diamond painting. And I was like, no, this is me. And she's like, I don't even know who you are. What is that tiny little tray? Those are Ziploc baggies. What are you doing? Like, I was like, I don't know. She's like, I've seen you travel with like a full-on toolkit. And I was like, yeah. The past 2 times that I've traveled with diamond paintings and full-on toolkits, I haven't had to worry about like traveling with my kids and my husband. And so I've only had to worry about packing for myself. So I was like, that's why this is what happened. Like, I was lucky that any diamond paintings made it into my luggage. But then I was just like, no, it's good. It's exercise in humility. But I immediately, I regret everything. The basic toolkit isn't so bad on these tiny little kits. Honestly, I don't mind it at all. I've used it a few different times now. But that unicorn kit, ooh, boy, that was tough. So, this is actually a really good time to mention that has it been a couple of years now? I still can't believe I've had a YouTube channel for a couple of years now, but maybe a year and a half ago, I did a video that was called like the top 10 like diamond painting tools for beginners. And in it, I talked about, at least at the time, what I felt like were the top 5 upgrades that you should make to the basic toolkit. If you know you decide this craft is for you and you want to invest, like what are the tool upgrades that I thought would make the biggest difference? And it had like pen, get like a more comfortable pen, like a thicker pen. It had a tray. It had the wax, upgrading your wax. And shoot, what other things did it have? It had light pad as an honorary mention mostly because I was like, I know everyone loves using light pads, even though I don't. I'm gonna give it an honorary mention here. 938, letter N, okay. What am I forgetting that I mentioned in that video? Anyway, I have had a couple of people at this point comment and ask if I could update the vendors that I had listed in that video, because some of the vendors listed, like they're no longer open, or it's too difficult to get your hands on, you know, their products and stuff. And so last night I actually did sit down and I went through and I updated it to reflect, like I tried to add like a little bit wider variety so that there were more options for the different categories. I tried to make sure it was shops that are currently open, which interestingly enough, one of the shops that was on there for trays was Archer's Arts, which they closed, and they took like a last round of orders, which ended up being so many orders that it took them several months to complete, which, though mad props to them, they were constantly keeping people updated in their Facebook group. I love Archer's Arts. Like, I fully stand behind them as a company and behind their like decision to do what they needed to do, because they're taking care of their family and stuff like that. Once they caught up on orders, they decided after all that they wanted to find a way to try to keep their shop open. And what did they land on? They landed, I believe, on opening like 1 weekend a month for orders or something like that. At least that's what it is at the time of this filming. So I left them on the list, but I added some other tray options, and I added some more pen options and some more wax. Like, I tried to just add more options to make sure that the links that were in there for some of the other stuff, like the light pads and stuff. Multi-placers. That was one of the other things that I'd recommended. So and then I added the listings for like the thin metal multi-placers that I like. So I just generally tried to update the links in there, which that was something I actually had been meaning to do for quite some time. So that will be something that I try to update ongoing, because that video is one of my like top 5 or 10 like most viewed videos, and it continues to still see a decent amount of traction even though I posted it like a year and a half ago. So I'll try to keep the description like up to date. I don't think I'm gonna necessarily refilm that video, maybe at some point, but you know, it's working as is, so I'm not necessarily in a rush to refilm it. But I updated the description and added a note that was like the last the last updated on, and then put the date. Semi K, which is 434, which is right. Where are you? Did I overshoot? See, I know this is not the most elegant way to do this, but this worked really well on the airplane. Because I was afraid of just like dropping drills, like dropping bags of drills and stuff. So I was trying to keep it like really, the potential for chaos really minimal. I did not work on this on the airplane with my children. I'm talking about my last trip. Anyway, so I did go back and update that video. I will link to it below if you're curious. I have a feeling if you're watching my WIP and Chat that you're maybe not necessarily like a beginner, but maybe you are. So if you want some suggestions on, you know, tools that I suggest upgrading from first, like what to prioritize, because I know people are on a budget, and I tried to mention a wide variety of budget options in there as well. But yeah, I'm always open to feedback like that kind of thing, you guys. Just FYI. But yeah, I'm enjoying working on these little mini projects. I was kind of like especially when I worked on that unicorn one, I was like, this is gonna help it look like I don't have just a minuscule amount of finishes for this month, because I thought like, oh no, traveling is really gonna throw a wrench in things, and especially because I've also been spending some time when I have been at home on my cross stitch conversion, and I'm certainly not gonna get a finish on that by the end of the month, I don't think. So it's like, I want to be able to have at least more than one finish for the month. But that you guys, that's a me complex. That's not me saying like, if you don't finish at least one diamond painting a month, then what are you doing with your life? It's me. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah, so I'm not mad. I am looking forward to getting back to my cross stitch conversion project once we do fly back home, which is going to be in just a couple of days. We are thoroughly enjoying our time with family though. So yeah, we're visiting my family, in Ohio, and, I know I've said this several times, but I just mentioning this, I don't always know how many people are watching which of my videos. So I apologize for those of you that have heard me say certain talking points a lot. You're probably used to it by this point. But this is the first time that my family has all been together with significant others and kids since you know what. So it's been at least 3 years. And so it has been just an absolute joy to all be together. My brother and his significant other are here, and she's super sweet. My kids love her, and Adam is here, and the kids are here. So it's just been a lovely, lovely, lovely visit. It's always interesting to come back to my hometown, which I'm not going to give much in the way of details on because hello, internet safety. But just a lot has changed. A lot has changed since I lived here. J435, another brown color, yeah. You find this color, you guys. There we go, 435. And honestly, you guys, one of the things that I most look forward to about being back, besides actually spending time with family, is I like some of the food options that are not available in California, but are available here. So one of the things that I thoroughly enjoy, and I actually haven't had the past few times that I've been back, is Donato's pizza. And I'm about to potentially ignite like a huge debate in the comments, I feel like, because some people have incredibly strong feelings about this. I am team pineapple on pizza, and that it's delicious. Particularly the way that Donato's does their pineapple on pizza. Their Hawaiian pizza is my favorite thing ever. So Donato's does an amazing like thin crispy crust, which I feel like is more of a Midwest thing, like that really thin, crispy crust. But the way they do their Hawaiian is, yes, ham, pineapple, but then They do sliver almonds and cinnamon sprinkled on top. I know it sounds probably weird. It is the most delicious thing on the face of the earth. Oh my gosh, it was so delicious. And it was everything I was hoping for. So we did get tomatoes for dinner one night. And it was absolutely amazing. We did a, I felt very spoiled because my mom did like a potluck style, well, not potluck style, more like a Midwest like spread style, like holiday meal that was kind of our combination, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's dinner, where we had like a turkey and a corn casserole and mashed potatoes and all the delicious things. And my mom also bakes. Like, she's known for baking Christmas cookies, like her coworkers and friends and family. Like, my mom is the baker, and so she just had like their downstairs deep freezer full of cookies. And so we've had cookie platters out every day that we just munch on throughout the day, and not fantastic for my waistline, but really wonderful for my heart. So I am going to take it. I think I did mention this in a previous WIP and Chat about how my favorite is that she makes is these clothespin cookies. Yes, clothespins. They're made from puff pastry that's rolled out really thin and wrapped, and then cut and wrapped around clothespins. You bake it in the seasoned clothespins specifically. You bake it in the oven, and then you gently pull them off the clothespins, and then you fill them with this amazing filling. It's kind of like a cream filling, and I'm trying to think of how to describe it. There's a lot of Crisco involved. But it's just so good. It's so good. And she has these new cookies that she made for the first time this year, and I was like, this has literally never happened, but these might, for whatever reason, edge out clothespin cookies for me as my favorite cookie this year. Oh my gosh, I'm staring at the platter of cookies less than 10 feet away from me right now. I'm gonna go get a couple of these cookies to show you, just because why the heck not? Okay, hold please. Okay, so now I feel like this was actually the best idea ever to do a WIP and Chat because now I get to show you. So this is a platter of just some of my mom's cookies this year. So this is the clothespin cookie that I keep telling you guys about. So you can see you see how the pastry was like wrapped. And then there's this like cream filling. It's so delicious. Then you sprinkle powdered sugar on the top. And then these are Swedish cream wafers. It's this really light pastry, like dough. And the inside, this is actually the same icing that my mom uses on her clothespin cookies. It's so delicious. It's sprinkled in sugar, and you can see some poke with a fork and whatnot. This is, there's like a sprinkle from a cutout on there. This is one of her coconut drop cookies. So this is made from like, it's like a macaroon, like coconut and deliciousness, and then just a Hershey Kiss placed on the top. She found a copycat recipe for the cranberry bliss bars from Starbucks, and they taste nearly identical. I'm not even kidding you guys. Those are delicious. And then this, I told her, was probably my favorite cookie. Like, this might be my favorite above the clothespins this year. I forget what she calls this one, like a caramel cup, but it's got this like really yummy, just like it's dough, like pie dough, that you bake and then you tamp down, and then you fill it with this caramel filling, and then do this pretty like whipped cream, some kind of flour on the top. She did say, she's like, for next year, I already have some changes I want to make. So this was her first year making these actually, and they're so delicious. She's like, I want to put in enough caramel that it really goes up to the top, and then do a slightly bigger star or flour in the middle. And I was like, sure, but I don't care. This is delicious this year too. So these are just some of the cookies that my mom made by hand this year. So I feel really darn spoiled. I'm gonna try not to eat those while we talk, even though they're just gonna be staring at me here in the corner, just like, eat me. But you guys, I feel, oh my gosh, so spoiled. So that's really fun. I thought you guys might enjoy seeing, like, look, these are the kind of cookies I keep talking about. But they're delicious. We are eating very well. Hold on, let me grab another letter. Let's do the letter I, which is 436, which should be right there. It sure is. Okay, hold on a second. Who's upstairs? Okay. So, oh, there's a dryer sheet in here and it's still staticky. Okay, well, let's shake it up a little bit. Sounds like someone was just moving around upstairs. It's kind of funny because it's like sleeping like in my childhood bedroom. Sean sleeping in his childhood bedroom, and the bed in my childhood bedroom is like full, and we're used to sleeping in a queen size bed. And I just am like, oh my gosh, this is so small. It's so small. I can't do it. I can't do it. Just a couple more nights. It's also like, you know, not the same kind of like mattress I'm used to sleeping on, stuff like that. So, anyway, we were talking about food. What are some other food things that we did? So, we also had, we tried a new place today while we were, we went out with my brother and his significant other for a little while today, and we tried this new taco place, well, new to us taco place. Oh my gosh, the queso was like the best queso I've had in my life. It was very like white people spice level friendly too, which was really nice. Because I am such a wimp when it comes to spicy stuff, you guys. Such a wimp. And it was so good. Sorry about that, you guys. My brother and his girlfriend came down to say goodbye because they're flying out crazy early tomorrow morning, and we're not going to be awake. It's basically going to be really late tonight. But yeah, we had really good tacos and nachos today. It was delicious. And yeah, so food, all things food. What else have we been doing? So flight with the kiddos actually went better than I expected. I was not totally sure how Micah was going to do. He's a bit of a wild card. Honestly, he was tougher in the airports because he just wanted to run, and he kept wanting to turn it into a game that we were trying to get him to not run away from us. Yeah. So that was, you know, that was good though, because it was like, okay, get all your energy out and your wiggles out like while we're at the airport and on our layover and stuff, so then you can just chill on the plane. So he did have a window seat, so I could kind of then I sat in the middle seat so I could kind of contain him, be a barrier for him. And then Adam and Connor sat like in front of us, also like window middle. So the kids got the window seats and they did pretty well on the flights. And we got in like at a good time that first day. And actually it was really fun, completely unplanned. We had the same layover location as my brother, and the same flight from said layover location. So we got to hang out with them a little bit, like in our layover in Chicago, and it was really cute to see, like, especially Connor, how excited he was to see them. Like ran up to them and gave him a hug. Micah like warmed up, especially to both of them actually right away. I was like, well, his love language is body slams and like pinches. Like he does these little like pinchies right now. It can be quite painful because he really likes to pinch like the back of your upper arm. And sometimes I'm like, all right, sensory overload, you have to stop touching, you have to stop pinching me or I'm gonna lose my mind. We're working on it. But he started doing that with them right away. I was like, oh, look, he loves you. Then when we got to Ohio and got off the plane and walked through security, my parents were waiting for us, and just seeing Connor, he was like, oh, Grandpa, and he went running. And I think that just absolutely made my parents' day. Oops, we have drills flying everywhere. It was very sweet. So we've had a really sweet and meaningful visit. I think we all just have been soaking it up because it's just been so wonderful. So, yeah, so flights went okay. I'm hoping, knock on wood, that they go okay on the way back as well. We don't have to leave too early Ohio time, but it is a bit on the early side California time, and we've just really adjusted like maybe halfway, at least as far as the kids go. So it's gonna feel like an early morning for us, but we get back like in the afternoon, so we have some time to kind of settle back in at home and stuff like that. And I think that my in-laws are gonna bring Skip, our kitten, back up because he's been staying with them while we're gone, because we didn't want to leave our two cats alone in our house, mostly unsupervised. Though Christiane, which yes, Christiane Hare, who has a channel, in between her crazy days at Disney, has very sweetly gone over and fed and checked on our older cat. and also rescued my packages from the rain, because apparently we've had just insane rain in California while we've been gone. And I was like, just let them, just if they get water inside, it's fine. Just set them, they'll dry eventually, and hopefully they're not too destroyed. Hopefully the contents are safe. So super appreciate her for doing that. And yeah, I don't even think she saw our older cat when she went over, which is not surprising. Poor Connor though. Connor was, it's so sweet, but it also breaks my heart a little bit, because we had driven Skip down earlier in the day before we left, because there just wasn't going to be time to do it later in the day. So earlier in the day, while he was at school, I had driven Skip down to give to Adam's parents. I told Connor, we talked through it and everything, and he was okay, and said, like, Skip's not going to be here when we get home from school. Grandma and Grandpa are going to watch him while we're gone, and they're going to take wonderful care of him. He's going to have lots of fun playing with them, all that stuff. He seemed fine. Well, then bedtime rolled around that night, and Connor was just like laying in bed under the covers, and I see his lips start to quiver and his eyes start to get real watery, and I was like, oh sweetheart, what's wrong? And he said, I miss Skip. I want to play with him. And let me tell you, I think Adam's and my hearts just melted into complete puddles. Our hearts broke into a million pieces, and we're like, oh, sweetheart, like, it's okay to be sad, but like Skip, and we just walked it back through with him. Like, Skip is with Grandma and Grandpa, and he's gonna be taken care of. He still loves you. He's coming back home when we get home. And it's okay to miss him, but don't worry, we will see him when we get back. He's like, okay, like deep shuddering breath, like very, very, very sad. So, it's very sweet that they have bonded so well, but oh my goodness, the heart-wrenching tears. But I guess it's a good like thing to talk through and learn how to deal with those emotions. But yes, so I think when we mentioned that to Adam's parents, they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll drive him up so you can be there when you guys, the day you guys get home, because we were initially not sure, like, are we really going to drive down and get him, like, the same day, all that. But I think I think that they're hopefully going to drive him up. That'll make Connor very happy. We haven't told Connor yet because we don't, like, want to remind him of it. He said, when I asked, like, oh, Grandma and Grandpa sent me some pictures of Skip. Would you like to see him? Would that make him happy to see how he's doing, see he's having fun? He was like, no, I don't want to see pictures of Skip. It'll make me sad. It'll make me miss him. And so we're like, okay. And I'm thinking, like, actually, that's really kind of mature of him to be aware enough of his emotions to be able to acknowledge that. But it's very sweet, but definitely very like, oh, buddy. So suffice it to say that he will be very happy to get home, though he has been doing wonderfully here. And both boys have thankfully adjusted well to having like different sleep circumstances and stuff, because that's just kind of the nature of traveling. Oh, I missed a couple of that color. Hold on a second. Okay, I just need 2 more of this color. But yeah, so Micah warmed up a little slowly when we got to my parents' house. He was like very gradually kind of exploring things, but it only took a day or 2, and then he's made himself quite at home and is comfortable getting into everything. We did have a little bit of snow here, just a light dusting, but we did have some snow, which was really fun. Not enough to like build a snowman, which I felt bad, because Connor was like, are we gonna build a snowman? And I was like, oh man, it just depends on if there's gonna be enough snow, and I don't think we're supposed to get quite that much. So we did not, sadly, but they did get to see some snow. And like my parents live in the woods, and so they have like a bird feeder set up and all that. So they did get to see lots of animals and stuff. We haven't had any deer walk through. But usually seeing deer walk through the woods is, and then outback is not unheard of either. But yeah, so Connor, like I said, though, warmed up right away. And I think just as Micah gets older, he'll just warm up more and more quickly and remember them. remember my parents just that much more quickly in their house more quickly and stuff like that. So yeah, I had some other fun things happen while I've been here. So I actually got to meet up with an online diamond painting friend while I was here. She has been a friend of mine since 2020. We had started chatting sometime in there. I think we were probably talking about diamond painting accessories. And I think I had encouraged her, from what she told me, I was like, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly. I was the one who had encouraged her to start a diamond painting Instagram account. Because I was kind of like, I feel like you are like me in that you love this craft and you would happily talk about it like all day, every day, and you want like a dedicated space to do that. So you should make a diamond painting Instagram. So she's a fellow like accessories fiend and is just such a sweetheart. And that's Jamie. Her Instagram is Jamie_paints. And we had just sort of accidentally realized that she actually lives close to my parents. And I'm not going to give any details for obvious reasons, but I did actually go over and get to meet her and see her house and see her amazing crafting space. And I actually got to look at her entire pen collection, which was glorious because she's a fellow pen collector. And one of the really fun things about it was I actually wasn't super familiar with like her pen collection necessarily. Is that a strange thing to say? Like how familiar I am with someone's pen collection. But it was fun as we were flipping through them, and I would be like, oh, is this from Brewers? It looks like they're turning style. And she'd be like, yeah. And I just thought, how pen obsessed am I that I am able to sort of like look just at like a turning style and be like, oh, is this from this shop? And it's fun that like these different shops have such distinct styles that like that's a thing. And I'm like, this is one of the reasons that there really is room for everyone, because everyone has distinct styles and takes on things. So that was really fun. And we just chatted for a while. I actually took over my diamond painting. I took over that unicorn that little unicorn snack size kit. And she was working on her Diamond Art Club mystery kit that she's been working on. And it's okay. I was okay to see it because it was like landscape animals, something like that, nature animals. I was like, I'm definitely never working on that kit. So we diamond painted together. I borrowed one of her Muni-made trays while I was there because I was like, if I could have a tray that's bigger than like this, then I could like multi-place and blitz my way through a bunch of this background. And so she loaned me a tray while I was there. And we just chatted. It was so comfortable and it was just so nice. And yeah, it's one of those things that just sort of reinforces what I say to people, especially people that are struggling to find like their place in any community really, or feeling like out of place, is just to like, you don't have to be a part of like a big social group. Like just try to find like that one person or those couple of people that you really click with. And that can be totally okay. Like that can be enough. And yes, that was really fun to get to meet an online friend. I was like, I wish I could just be a jet setter and just travel the country and meet all of like the different diamond painters in different parts of the country, because it's so fun. Like online friendships are real friendships. So it was funny. My mom was like, are you sure it's safe to meet someone you only know online? And I was like, that's so like indicative of like, I don't know, almost I feel like what generation you're in, because I feel like it's almost like way more acceptable for our generation to be like, well, no, yeah, like my online friends, sometimes I'm closer with them than I am with my in real life friends. Like, no, this is completely safe. This is completely fine. I've known this person for a couple of years. Like, I am quite confident that she is not a serial killer. But that was funny because my mom had this like kind of classic, like just mom worry of like, are you sure? Like text me when you get there. Let me know her address so that I know where to send the cops. I was like, mom, I promise it's fine. I promise she's fine. But it was funny. After I was there for a couple hours, my mom texted me. She's like, are you still okay? Yes, everything is fine. Meanwhile, Adam hasn't checked in once. I'm like, well, he knows everything's fine. So that was really fun. And speaking of fun, like, random connections with online friends. So I was chatting with Anthony, who's single and placing. He has a YouTube channel. super sweet guy. I was talking with him the other evening, and I don't even remember how it came up. Talking about something about, like, I think I made a passing comment about, like, yeah, you should totally come out to California sometime. Like, there's lots of fun people out here, like people I know you want to meet and stuff. He's like, yeah, the last time I was in California was, he's like, I came out, and I was in LA, and I went to the, like, I was there for like a Bob's Burgers live show. And I was like, hold up, what year? Because that is not something that happens annually. But I immediately, like, started like freaking out with excitement. I was like, was it 2017? Because that's the last time I believe that this show happened. And I don't like think this is a regular thing. And I was like, because Adam and I went to that show. Like, was it 2017? And we came to find out, we both like dug back into like old social media posts and stuff like that, came to find out that, yeah, no, we were both at this show, this Bob's Burgers live comedy show in LA on the same exact date at the same exact time in 2017. I literally pulled up my seat numbers because I was like, this is still in my email because I don't delete a lot of my, unless it's like promotional emails, I don't delete them. I pulled it up. I was like, this is my seat numbers. Because we found out we were both in the balcony. I was like, dude, what if we were sitting like next to each other? And you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. And so he was like, oh man, I have to go see, yeah, I think I saved the ticket stubs, so I should go bug him. Anthony, if you're watching this, did you find your ticket stubs? Were we sitting next to each other? But that was just so freaking funny. And yeah, when we compared pictures with timestamps, it was like, holy cow, literally we were at this same show on the same night at the same time. We were in the same room 6 years ago. Like what, 5.5 years ago. So it was in like June of 2017. Isn't that wild? Isn't that completely wild? He doesn't live in California. Has he said, I don't know if he said like what state he lives in, but it's not California. He flew into LA for a weekend. And that was one of the shows that one of the things that he did. I was just like, this is so unreal. That's so funny. So I was like, clearly you need to come back. So go ahead and start working on scheduling that trip. So anyway, it's funny. It's really funny. And it's fun to see the different connections you can make with people online. You don't have to be best friends with everyone. Just, you know, find the people that you click with and you get along with. And that, as I often say, are life-giving to you. And yeah, so anyway, that was a fun little tidbit. So yeah, you guys, I don't know if there's really anything else about our trip to share. It's been pretty low-key. Adam and I did talk about like going down to where we met in college. I don't want to give details again, but we talked about maybe doing a little trip down there, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. We haven't really talked about it like concrete terms. We only have one full day left here, but we may do that. I thought it would be really fun to take the kids there and be like, this is where mommy and daddy met. I mean, they wouldn't really appreciate it, I don't think. Connor would, but it would be fun. It'd be fun to take some like cute pictures and like, again, I'm thinking like, I mostly want to go and get like some of my favorite food, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Apparently this one needed 2 dryer sheets. That made me think of, by the way, that like in Shay's live earlier, which I did, I hopped in there for a little bit after I hung out in Munimaid's live where she did like her gender reveal for her baby, which go watch that if you want to. That was fun. I'm not gonna spoil it. Just go watch it because like she did these really fun like old wives' tales like leading up to it, where she was like, okay, according to this old wives' tale, this is the sex of my baby, and according to this old wives' tale, it's this. And she had like a tally, and then she had everyone vote, and then she did the reveal, and it was super, super, super cute, and I'm so excited for her. But anyway, then I went into Shay's live, which was really fun, and Shay was asking people about like, oh, what do you do for work? And I was like, well, I'm a stay-at-home. Well, she said to everyone, not just me. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I diamond paint. That's basically what I said. And I was like, you know, once upon a time I might have answered that question like, oh, I teach music, like, because my degree is actually in music education, but it's not a field that I've really worked in, just because of timing for like when I graduated and how that field looked and stuff. I did teach some private piano lessons, And that's something I might eventually do again at some point. But like Adam's parents were asking me the other day, like, you know, do you see yourself like ever going back to like teaching music or like playing piano or accompanying on piano, stuff like that? And I was like, I don't really know. At this point in my life, I feel like being a stay-at-home mom is truly my calling. Like I have 2 kiddos with special needs, and they're often sick and stuff like that. So it really is perfect. We're really fortunate that I'm able to be a stay-at-home mom. And that, you know, diamond painting and creating content has like continued to allow us to do that, to a small extent. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel very lucky that I'm able to just be very available to, you know, advocate for my kiddos when I need to, and be there to, you know, do all the stuff that comes with having special needs kiddos and special needs programs and stuff like that. So I don't know, but that kind of got my brain going, and I was like, do I see myself? It would be really complicated. It would be really complicated because I'm sure my teaching license, you know, is not current or anything like that at this point. And so like that would be complicated. I don't know what that would even look like. And I don't really want to. I don't think it's something that I would be good at teaching, like in a traditional classroom, that is. And yeah, so I'm not sure. Maybe someday, but for now, I'm a stay-at-home mom and a diamond paint. But yeah, so I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up here, you guys. We just finished watching, the Bengals game. My husband's a Bengals fan, diehard Bengals fan. And they won the game, though he was just telling my brother, like, they didn't deserve to win that game, but they did. But he's happy nonetheless. They're continuing on the playoffs. And that's American football, by the way, for my international subscribers. They're in the playoffs. We'll see if the Bengals go to the Super Bowl. I don't typically sports in general. It's not generally my jam, but I like to be in the same room and be peripherally supportive for my husband when he's excited about his team being in. So there was that. But yeah, it's late here, but Adam is writing. He's working on a script, and I'm diamond painting, and still mostly on California time because it's what, 12:20 a.m. It is after midnight, but it's only 9:20 p.m. in California. So really, it's like we just put the kids to bed, and I'm just starting my evening. But I'm gonna see if I can get this video uploaded for you guys. My parents' internet is really not super reliable, especially when people are trying to do too much at once on it, which, you know, it's normally just my parents who are doing very, very little. And then my brother, my husband, my brother's significant other, and I come in, and we're all doing all kinds of more data heavy stuff and all that. So I think it's been a bit more of a strain on their internet than it's used to. But that's okay. I'll see if I can get this video to upload for you guys. And then I already have a video pre-recorded that I can put up for you on Wednesday. And that'll give me a little bit of a buffer for when I get back to sort of get back into a routine and film again. So yeah, it was fun to kind of come on and sneak a WIP and Chat in here after all. Thanks for hanging out with me and watching me work on this little mini kit. I don't count these individual ones as finishes, because they're so little. It's like they're 1 to 1.5 hour projects at most. So it feels like, I don't know, I have a complex about it. Like, it feels like it, just for me, I don't count it. It's like once I complete the whole set, then I'll count that as a finish. I don't know, what would you guys do? I don't know. Anyway, I will talk with you guys again soon. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your week, and I appreciate you being here so much. If you made it all the way to the end and you're not already subscribed, you'd probably enjoy it here, so feel free to subscribe. And oh, emoji for the end of the video. Let's see if you made it all the way to the end of the video. How about some kind of rainy emoji, whether it's raindrops, umbrellas, something that makes you think of rain. If you made it all the way to the end, just in honor of like the ridiculous amount of rain that California has been getting, I suppose. before we left and while we're gone and when we get back probably. So thanks again for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week, you guys. Leave one of those rain emojis. Let me know what you were working on or what you've been up to or just how you're doing in general. I always love hearing from you guys. And for the moment, I have been pretty good and consistent about responding to comments for like the past week or two at this point. So try to keep up with that. Anyway, have a great start to your week, you guys. I'll talk to you again really soon. Talk to you in the next one.